Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
How are you? Welcome to Pat Gray Unleashed. Now,
thanks for turning his mic on, Corby. I'll do what I can.
Appreciate it. That's his job.
Oh, God.
You know, I want to know something, though. I was just thinking, have you got your free test yet?
My who?
The free COVID test?
No, I don't have a free COVID test.
Did you ask?
I ordered it, yeah.
And they have not arrived yet?
Yeah.
Because
I have an experiment.
People are posting that they've been arriving, and I have not got mine yet.
No, and I ordered it.
The first day?
It was like overnight. It was like the day before.
Right. So I was thinking that's why I haven't gotten mine, because I filled mine out the day that it was supposed to go online, but they had opened up the website earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't fill it out then. I waited until that next morning. But I see people posting all the time that they're getting their free COVID test.
So where are ours?
Made in China. Why haven't I gotten mine?
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you intend to actually stick it up your nose when you think you have COVID next time? I'm not using that thing.
I mean, that's the orifice you're supposed to use.
Don't sniff them.
Welcome to minute one of a full week of Jeff Fisher.
I'm responding to your question.
I'm going to run some experiments with my taxpayer-funded tests.
Are you?
Yeah, we're going to find out.
See if it tests
Yeah,
positive or negative
find out.
on different things.
Yeah.
This came from my dog.
Mm-hmm.
This came from the neighbor's cat.
I figure, look, I'm not a prestigious university getting tax dollars to fund research. I've already paid into this system, so now I'm going to do my own experiments at home. Yes.
I would just like to know when they're going to arrive.
Right.
So.
Right, because we were day zero.
Well, day half or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You were day zero.
Sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yours should have arrived already.
Yeah, I was surprised that it let me in when it did. So yeah.
Very disappointing.
Did you watch some football yesterday?
Absolutely. Hello.
Great games again.
Football season is almost over. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, it's done. Right. The NFL is over.
Yeah. One more game. It's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams.
There were some good games yesterday
in the Rams home stadium. That's back-to-back years that the home team,
and the Rams could. That's why I want Cincinnati. I'm rooting for Joe Burrow to win.
Absolutely. Who's
I mean, Joe is. I want him to win, no question. But I also, one of the side points of wanting Cincinnati to win is while Los Angeles is now the only team, to have won the championship in their home stadium. They could become the only team to win the Super Bowl and the championship in their home stadium, which takes away from Tampa Bay doing it last year.
Wow,
I'm a Buccaneers fan.
That's a lot of data points there.
Like to not have that happen.
So more on trivia, we didn't have a declared winner last week because, it was
the
a
way
tie.
It worked out.
And someone pointed out, let's see what Jackie, Pathead Jackie said that, look, is it not, it went to overtime. So it looks like more on trivia was correct. Good point.
You can make that argument.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Make that argument.
Okay, did you see?
And what was the, we said, I got to look at the wrap up of the game.
Okay.
For more on
Wait,
trivia.
while you look at that, hold on. Did you see the guy who put down $20, predicted the final scores? Bengals over Chiefs 27-24, correct. Rams over 49ers 20-17, put down $20. And that parlay got him $579,000. Hello.
Oh, that's not bad.
Let's go celebrate.
That's a good day.
I didn't even know you could bet the final score. I've never seen that bet.
That's a good day. They bet on pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And more, gambling is
mainstream.
Becoming mainstream around the country. Mm-hmm. States are making it legal for different companies everywhere. And all we see is commercials during the NFL games. Hey, spend all your money, but
do it
have a budget.
Be responsible.
Have a budget.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Steve Mariucci. He's got the chalkboard.
That's the game plan.
Yeah.
Stick to it. Okay, thanks, former coach.
That's good. What'd you look up there about more on trivia?
I was looking to see. I didn't take a picture of the sheet. It's in my office. And since there wasn't I wanted to see. We played 1.5 quarters. And I don't remember
6-3 Chiefs.
Okay.
When play was suspended because of rain.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, it did. Both games were great. It was surprising that Kansas City lost that game and didn't win. I mean, I through the whole game, you thought for sure Kansas City was going to win it. I mean,
did you?
I did. I know. I know.
Hey, look, I've gotten one game wrong this entire playoff stretch, and I got the 2 right yesterday. So yay me.
Nice.
I think
Did
I
you win $500,000?
Yeah. I'm just, in fact, 8:00 today. I'm gonna go pick it up. I think
Nice.
the only game I got wrong, it was the 49ers Packers game.
Green Bay. Yeah. Anyway, so the Super Bowl is Cincinnati and LA, and it'll be a fun game.
You going with Stu?
Can Stu go? I thought LA was going to lock it down just to California residents.
Oh, right.
I don't think they are going to do that, but there's no way that they can do that. Really, I mean, there's too many people that come from out of town. But,
and then I guess it would be a forfeit for the Bengals. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, no, we can't come. Sorry, that's the way it goes. I'm not going to go with Stu. I barely like being in the same building with him.
Yeah.
Let alone go to some sort of event.
Yeah, you guys have a history, and it's too bad.
No, that's not going to happen.
We
in fact have been to one Super Bowl together.
Yeah.
Although we were at the same game, we didn't go together.
I got you. He owes us lunch. Let's not let him forget this. By the way, I mean we got to keep this fresh because he was going to come in here, and then we all got COVID, and so that payoff and that whole him admitting defeat on the air has
right.
Maybe we'll have him come in for the Super Bowl more on trivia.
Other big NFL news that this weekend, it was reported that Tom Brady was going to retire.
Yeah.
And then it was reported, not so fast. Not really. Tom hasn't really said anything. And Tom's off, I don't know, gallivanting the world with the wife and the kids, doing what Tom does. And he apparently contacted Tampa, contacted the owners and said, no.
Yeah, there's the GM, right?
I have not decided.
Yeah, it's total conjecture, apparently is the quote.
Yeah.
This story, Mike, is total conjecture. Tommy has not made a final decision one way or the other, and anybody else that says that he has is absolutely wrong. How'd this happen?
I don't know.
Multiple sources. All the notifications yesterday said multiple sources.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You know what it is? It's like the commercial he does for crypto. Like how the news spreads that he wants a trade.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm talking about crypto.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
So this is what that felt like.
I mean, then he posts something on his Instagram with his, sporting his new clothing line and the Brady wear. And, so that keeps he's still out there. I know. Look, I mean, it's Tom Brady. And is he going to? I feel like he's not going to.
I thought he was under contract for one more year.
He is, but okay. So plus, I think that if he retires, he loses an extra $20 million or something.
Ooh. Some
signing bonus money that they could take back. But I mean, $20 million to Tom, nothing. I mean, it's something to you and me. Puts us into a different tax bracket. But to Tom, another $20 million.
Yeah, sit it over there.
It's not about
with
the money.
Stacks of
Giselle,
bills and stuff.
have you got room in your safe for that? Because I don't anymore.
How about the kids? How's their saves? Is there any room in there?
No? All right, fine.
Tell you what,
never mind.
Just leave it out back.
Yeah, just if somebody takes it, fine. Leave it for the yard guys.
Leave it for the yard guys. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And I have really grown to respect him more, even though, he broke my heart as a Falcons fan. But he has lightened up in Tampa.
Yeah, he has.
I just enjoy watching him now, even though he destroys my team every time they play twice a year. Part of me, though, is like, yes, please retire as a Falcons fan because the Panthers are in disarray. The Saints are in disarray with no coach and $74 million over the cap. And if Brady leaves, how do the Falcons not? Don't say it out loud, Keith.
Okay.
How do they not win this division? You see what I mean? But I do want him to stick around. I want him to be playing when he's 50 years old. Let's go, Gordie Howe. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, that won't happen because the wife is already after. He's said on his podcast that the wife is concerned about him getting hit now. When does that happen? Anyway, the wife is concerned about seeing him out on the field now. He wants to spend more time with the kids. And so, we'll be fortunate enough to watch him for another season, maybe. And then it's going to be have a nice day.
At least he's at the top of his game. It's not depressing to see him
that's
out there
the
like
thing,
Joe Namath or
right?
something.
So if he retires now, it's like he's not at the top of his game. He lost in the playoffs, not after a Super Bowl. which is pretty incredible when you think what a tremendous career he's had, that only making it to the playoffs your final year is your bad year.
I don't think that either he nor Aaron Rodgers envisioned their season ending in the divisional round.
I know.
So anyway.
I know. And what happens? Oh, man, we could talk about NFL forever. But what happens to Aaron?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what's happening in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know.
I mean, he's put it out there. If
he says he'll give him an answer by free agency time. So
before free agency, he said, sometime next month.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. There's plenty of teams that would be happy to take Aaron.
I would like to point out that Pat Gray, Vacation Planning 101, you don't schedule your vacations around the NFL playoffs,
right?
Or like in my case, Husker games. You try to find that bye week, nestled in there, something like that. But here he is traveling during, an important weekend in NFL, and of course he timed it with the weather perfectly, right? I was laughing out loud when I saw it was 20 degrees colder in Orlando than it was here in Texas.
Pretty funny.
Yesterday the weather here was perfect and it was all chilly there.
It was gorgeous. I know.
But I hope he's having a good time there in Disney World,
I bet
right?
you he's
walking around, mouse ears and stuff.
He's got the brood there. He's got the brood,
and
he's got the brood adjacent. So he's got the kid's wife's
brood
family.
Adjacent. That is awesome, Jeffy. Well termed. You don't go on a vacation with
awesome.
people you've never met.
Oh, I know you met him.
At the wedding.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, well,
they know each other. They're like good buds.
They're like they're
like
tight
buds.
now.
They waved at each other on the other side of the church. Hey.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you want to do a Disney World? I tell you, we'll talk about it after the wedding. I mean, seriously.
That is awesome.
I hope it's working out and it's not.
It'll be fine.
People at each other's throats. He doesn't even know how many rooms they got.
No, they've got a house, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, I don't think he knows how many rooms are in the house.
That's true.
There's a lot of common spaces in a house.
A lot of common space. Yeah, we got the house. You guys are sleeping on the pull-out couch in the front room, and then some of you, we had planned on sleeping in the Florida room, but it's a little cold out there now because there's no AC or no heat in the Florida room. So, I mean, you guys could probably drag that pull-out sofa into the living room and share the space. It'll be awesome.
Did I tell him this on the air or off the air? I said, next time you and Jackie want to go somewhere together, you don't tell anyone until 24 hours before so they can pick up your mail. Bro, come on. Stop. Well, I hope it's a good time. I hope they're having fun.
I believe your original quote was, have someone pick up the paper.
Oh, did I say it? What did I say? Yeah, I said it on the paper.
Pick up the newspaper.
Who gets the paper? I did say the paper. I did say the paper. Thanks for outing me. Was that on the air?
I don't know.
Because the mocking was merciless after that. It must have been off the air. I don't remember this as traumatic as it is.
Because there's not a lot. Although I do see it. I mean, you do see it, but it's normally the local rags that get thrown in front of the yard.
When you see a paper in a driveway, it's always with 10 other papers.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you never just see someone, there's the afternoon paper at Mr. Jones' driveway.
I mean, you want to talk about time? I mean, time's changing. Mm-hmm. The daily newspaper, goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
A lot of people that I interview with my podcast at the mic talk about, their first job was delivering papers. Like, nobody can identify with that today. Just like it's like telling someone that check the phone book. Like a newspaper delivery job, a phone book. No. How many things?
Well, phone books still get delivered. You still get the phone book from time to time. I pick one up in front of the house.
I haven't had one
ever so
10
often.
Years. The first year we lived here, and then never since. Maybe I'm in the wrong neighborhood. They don't like it over there, and they're like, let's stay out of it. That's probably what it is. So they're still delivering them. They're just not to my side of the tracks.
I mean. This house that I'm living in now, I don't think has had the phone book delivered in. Mm-hmm. But the other one did every year, had one thrown at the front door, in their phone book bag at the front door, which then you go, hey, it's the phone book.
I know, right? I mean, it's like the poor trees. Their sacrifice is in vain.
I know. They're so, remember when they were so fit?
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was.
Right.
Somebody's making money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They are. They're making money. But boy, I would just remember, I had a buddy of mine who used to deliver newspapers. He had the good gig, though, because he had an apartment complex.
Oh.
What an easy
Knock that out
gig.
in 5 minutes,
I
man.
mean, all those floors just riding the elevator, dropping it in front of the doors.
Oh.
Awesome newspaper route. And he did not give that bad boy up. That was his, man.
No kidding.
They were fighting over that route.
I knew a guy in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, who that was his job in high school, and it was cold and snowy,
Really?
and you wake up really, really early because when it's raining or snowing, right? Then you got to double bag it,
Yeah.
and then you just have to set that alarm. Oh gosh, no, thank you.
That's why I enjoyed just looking out the front door going, did it arrive yet?
Yeah.
No, that's not a fun gig at all. Okay, so another big story this weekend was, and it started last week, was Spotify and Joe Rogan.
A lot going on there.
And a whole bunch going on with that. Now the deal is that Neil Young started, which I believe was just a promotional thing for Neil Young.
You think so, huh?
I do. I think because either way, whether Spotify kicks him off or they go and bow down and beg him to stay on and will slap Joe in the hand, either way he wins promotionally, right? He's in the news, he's happy to do it. And he gets people realizing, oh my gosh, Neil Young is still there's
Is Neil
music.
Young that smart, though, to plan out something like that?
I mean, the guys, I would say yes.
Oh.
I would say, or at least the people he surrounds himself with, absolutely. And then you get people like Joni Mitchell, who say, "That's a pretty good idea. People will remember who Neil is. If I complain, they'll remember who I am."
That was so funny.
And then you had Nils Lofgren, right? And people went, "Who?" And they're begging for it. All weekend was people say, it was funny of the people who were outed, saying that they were going to cancel their Spotify, and they had to come out and say, "No, I'm not canceling." Why not?
Oh yeah, Barry Manilow.
Why not?
It's like whatever you've heard is wrong. Yeah.
Why not? So now Spotify has obviously addressed the situation, and they've covered it. And
Well, when you were talking about the artists and stuff, I mean, I put a poll out there for Pad Heads, and the results are in. Which outspoken, self-righteous musical artist would you like to see remove themselves from Spotify next? I put Bette Midler from where's she from again? I forget where Bette Midler.
Bette Midler?
Yeah,
It's Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Hello?
That's right. The Hawaiian
Everyone
songstress,
knows
as she's
that's
known.
right. Thank you.
Bruce Springsteen or Cher. Looks like Pat Head's overwhelmed. Well, let's say 50% Bruce Springsteen, Bette Midler.
Now Bruce
40%.
might, but he can't. I mean, he really can't.
that's
I hate to bog you down with facts.
Thank
but
you.
he
It's a
just-
freaking Twitter poll, Jeffy.
He just sold his music library. I mean, it's not even his anymore. He sold it for big money, like
bet.
$500 million or something. It was a lot of money. And that's Neil had as half of his, right? He just sold half of his rights
right.
to one company. Maybe that was the European
A company probably saw that news like, wait, no.
Right.
Have they? Because I know they took his music off of there. Have they left it off at this point? Do we know?
I don't know the answer to that. Well, the thing is that Neil then signed a deal where he's got the Sirius XM channel, and he's got iHeart promoted their Neil channel. So, I mean, that was part of the deal, right? I mean, I think that was a promotion. That's what made me go back to thinking, it was a promotion thing, right? So you're going to get the Sirius XM channel. How do you get people to care about a Sirius XM channel with Neil Young? Say you're going to
so
pull
they
your
made that
stuff
deal
from Spotify.
before this went down? Because
don't-
I know SiriusXM was promoting, hey, you could listen to it. I thought they were just taking advantage of the situation.
Okay.
Bottom line is Neil Young is off of Spotify. The only things on there are live stuff, like the singles and
Right.
or, the studio
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's a soundtrack and a Live Aid concert albums.
Really strange. Now, what happened? Now, Spotify has made it seem like Joe Rogan's okay, and the argument is, hey, we paid him $110 million or whatever it was for the contract, and we're not gonna get rid of him. I feel like we talked about it. At least I know I talked about it. I believe on Chewing the Fat is that when the big artists, if the big artists come along, if the domino effect starts happening, I mean, Rogan's gone, right? Spotify doesn't keep him. And
Well, Spotify reacted this weekend.
Well, they
correct?
did. They did, and they are going to have their, they're going to combat misinformation
Okay.
by directing listeners to its COVID-19 hub. a resource that provides easy access to data-driven facts, up-to-date information as shared by scientists, physicians, academics, and public health authorities around the world, as well as links to trusted sources.
Oh, there we are.
I love the links to trusted sources.
Sure.
And Rogan just posted a 9-minute video on Instagram saying hey, I love you. I just ask questions. And
Yeah. Has any of these stories pointed out anything that Joe Rogan has said that was wrong?
No.
Or
They
unfactual?
and that's what he's saying. I've just talked to these people. I have a conversation. And he, of course, agreed with the Combat Misinformation COVID-19 hub.
Oh,
with
he's being a good
Spotify.
soldier now.
He's being a real good soldier. And he talked about how he was going to try to do better. Also, one of my favorite things in the little 9-minute video is he mentions I love Joni, and he tells a Neil Young story about how he likes Neil Young. And how he worked at a concert place, and Neil was the last concert that played there before he quit. Yeah. But then he also talked about Joni Mitchell. I love Joni Mitchell. Chucky's in Love is a great song.
Oh,
And then I thought, wait, that's not Joni Mitchell.
Oh, no.
And Chucky in Love is Ricky Lee Jones, man. I love Ricky Lee Jones. And so he then posted an edit. He goes, edit. It's not Joni Mitchell.
That's funny. Fact-checked himself on the fly, huh?
That is awesome. That's how much we care about you, Joni. All right? And I always, Joni is, whatever. I mean, they pay Paradise. They put it in a parking lot. Okay? Is there any other Joni Mitchell songs that the world knows? I don't think so. But if some of the big-name artists start coming to town against Spotify, that could be a problem for Joe. That could be a real problem.
That's probably why he's getting out in front of this.
Yes, and he's trying. And like you said, have they pointed out what Joe Rogan has said wrong? No, because none of these people have listened to any of those.
Right.
Podcasts.
No, this is
They've listened to other people complain about what they believe has been said on Joe Rogan's podcast.
No, the complaint, if they were completely honest, would be Joe Rogan and his guests don't follow the government narrative.
Right.
And because of that, we've got to raise a fuss.
And what's incredible, I mean, Joe Rogan, the guy was speaking for their love, Bernie Sanders. I mean, he was for Bernie Sanders.
He's called Barack Obama the greatest president of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that would not surprise me. I mean, it's just amazing. And then I see where Harry and Meghan are questioned. I've had just about enough. Harry and Meghan, too, by the way. But I've had just about enough of all of you people claiming to be for freedom of speech, about wanting to shut people down. It's agonizing.
Hold on.
So how about Harry and Meghan, who took 25 or 30 million from Spotify to create a podcast and only did one show? This last week, Spotify sent new producers over to the house and said, hey, maybe we ought to do something, put something together. How about Harry and Meghan create a podcast that goes up against what they believe Joe Rogan is saying against COVID-19? How about that?
Yeah, by the way, Joe Rogan just a month ago said Michelle Obama could beat Donald Trump. Quote, she's intelligent, she's articulate, she's the wife of the best president that we've had in our lifetime, end quote. But this quote and his feelings toward the Obamas don't matter at all to the left, which just shows that this COVID stuff is a complete and total cult to these people that is even more so a cult to them than their love for Barack Obama. Anyhow, please continue.
Pretty sad.
I would love to hear a Meghan and...
No, I'm already done.
Oh,
I'm already beat him.
Good.
But he's right about Michelle, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, I completely disagree with the best president ever, Barack Hussein Obama.
Well, hold on.
But...
So one of the many theories is that we're going to have Supreme Court Justice Kamala Harris and then replace her with Michelle, and then Michelle gets the prize when the old man steps down in about a year or so. But
I was thinking this weekend.
Yeah,
I was thinking that maybe I should run for Supreme Court Justice. I was thinking if I identify as a black woman and then throw my hat in the ring as a Supreme Court Justice, I brought in my gavel. Mm-hmm. Do Supreme Court Justices have gavels?
Yeah, this is some.
Does each one get a gavel? Like, is there 9 gavels across the judges' table?
That gets a little loud.
Yeah, no doubt. No, back at you. Oh no, I broke my. Oh no,
You just broke your gavel,
oh
bro.
no,
What is happening over there? I mean,
no.
you're
What is happening?
You're just too strong, Jeffy.
Oh, Texas Gavel Company.
Well,
What is happening?
Well, you know
So
what?
this was made for chewing the fat. This is a special chewing the fat gavel.
got some duct tape.
That was made for me. He's got little chewing the fat sayings on the. But I got to remember how to open up for the Supreme Court, though. You know, when I get called before the Senate, to be questioned as a possible Supreme Court justice, we have to. What do they say?
The Honorable, the Chief Justice and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the United States. Oh, yay, oh, yay, oh, yay.
Oh, I can do that.
All persons having business before the Honorable, the Supreme Court of the United States are admonished to draw near and give their attention, for the court is now sitting. God save the United States and this honorable court.
There it is.
Boom.
There it is. There's at least one gavel.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yay.
You good. Good
Right
job.
back at you.
I think you're qualified.
Right.
I think you've just illustrated that you have what it takes.
Thank
to
you.
be a Supreme
I
Court
now
justice.
identify as a black female, and I want to put my hat in the ring for a Supreme Court justice. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Right back at you, Roberts.
Back to you. Back to you, Chief. So
I got my own.
So Joe Biden filibustered and voted against Janice Rogers Brown twice, who was I believe George W. Bush appointee. But they're saying watch out for this Michelle Childs lady as a possible SCOTUS nominee because she's qualified, because she's black and she's female. So that's all you have to be to be appointed by. But my goodness, you look at these cases about vaccine requirements.
A lot of these judges, you know, we're going to talk to Julie Kelly later on in today's show, but a lot of these judges are also a couple of these judges, I believe, that are possibly in the running are all believers in 1/6, the day democracy almost died, in sentencing these people, which will be a wonderful thing.
Not good.
I know.
Not good.
I know, which is why I'm throwing my hat in the ring.
Right. So he's got
justice.
more to worry about, like to clog up his schedule than just trips to the ice cream parlor. We had a pathead last week send me the Joe Biden schedule, and I thought that he had photoshopped it. And sure enough, I went to the actual website where they post the public schedule of Joe Biden, and you can see he has his daily briefing. I bet he's not even there, but anyway. And then is it page 2? Is that the only page we have? There we go. Check this. Okay, so then he's going to depart the White House, and then for an previously unscheduled meeting. Where is the unscheduled meeting? It's 10 minutes down the street at the Honey Maid store, and then he departs there for ice cream.
That's awesome.
And he stops at Jen's Splendid Ice Cream. I mean, that's literally what he does. Is he goes out for ice cream?
Puddings and eating.
That's what the man does.
Chocolate chip.
Oh, dear leader. Wow.
Chocolate chip.
Don't you have a staged bridge collapse to go give a speech near? Oh, sorry. Wait, what? That's just too ironic, Jeffy.
We'll talk a little bit about that before we left here on Friday.
Yeah.
There was a bridge collapse in Pittsburgh, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
No
it is
fatalities.
interesting. It is.
Because he was giving a speech
that it happened
in
on,
Pittsburgh about
hours before.
Yeah, hours before his speech about infrastructure. But thankfully, no one died in that collapse.
And it looks like that bridge was.
And it also looks like in recent years, I read something where funds have been diverted by liberals in control to green projects instead of fixing the bridge, which the money was originally for.
Correct.
Come on, man.
Thank you. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393 is the phone number, and you can always tweet at Pat Unleashed with, are we still using the hashtag?
Put that in your pipe?
Put that in your pipe? Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Use it if you want.
Nate, you search for put that in your pipe, do you?
Yeah.
Down the hall there?
I'm I'm sure he does. Yes. Okay.
Oh, wow. That was him.
So, hey, Elena, back off, all right?
Okay.
I'm just practicing.
Wow.
I'm just practicing hollering down
That's
the...
good.
Hollering down the...
Corby
the
brings up a good point during the break. Can you imagine the confirmation hearings for a possible Justice Jeffy Fisher?
Senators? Honorable?
Mr. Fisher.
You can call me Jeffy, but go ahead.
I don't think I will. Can you describe to us?
Jeffy, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, that's what we're here to determine. Can you please describe for us what is a? What is it? Hold on.
I need a
What is a Jeffy site? What is that?
A Jeffy site?
Jeffy site. I don't know. My interns wrote these questions. I have not looked at them yet. What is a Jeffy site? Describe a Jeffy site.
A Jeffy site is people who have tried to attack myself and my family as being some kind of illicit websites.
He's an entrepreneur, Senator.
I mean, that's what their claim. I mean, I would say that I am an entrepreneur. These sites are not illegal.
We've heard the phrase bantied about, a Jeffy scam. What is a Jeffy scam? Those are Jeffy.
What do you think, Clarence? What's a scam?
A Jeffy life hack. Let's don't forget that's how you.
I'm here to help people. Yeah,
he's just a hard worker. He's here to help people. Next question.
I need to wear a robe to the hearings too, so I'm already prepared to step in.
Are you being a little presumptuous there, sir?
You can go to my YouTube channel, Chewing the Fat Fisher. You can see me on the unwrapping, the unboxing of my gavel, and I'm wearing my robe.
Okay, careful. You went from I'm wearing a robe to an unwrapping.
The one good thing about wearing the robe is those are darn near Jeffy Moo-Moos. Moo-Moos by Jeffy, man. Those are so close.
Nightwear.
To Moo-Moos by Jeffy,
That's like the nightlife
I
attire.
love them. We did get some tweets in, though, from Bull Tishing, SOB. They have to keep making phone books because, remember, there are people of color, POC as in the tweet, in rural and urban areas, according to Joe, that don't know how to use computers and look up numbers. Hello, that's a good point. And I think they did finally get a number for people to call for the free tests too, because originally they didn't have it. It was just the website, and they said they were going to figure out how to get a phone number and put it up. So I think they do have one now. From Picapool, did you ever go to someone's house for dinner when you were a kid and sit on the phone book booster seat at the table?
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen it on television. I never lived anything like that.
What?
And this whole Neil Young, Joe Rogan story from blah, 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 has proved to be a great opportunity for washed-up has-beens to jump on the nothing burger wagon for a bonus 15 seconds of fame. It has. And really, a lot of the washed-up has-beens are just getting noticed from people realizing that they're washed-up has-beens and saying, hey, this washed-up has-been just canceled their stuff from Spotify. And the washed-up has-been says, no, I haven't. I'm still here. I'm still here. Hi. You can still get my music on Spotify, no problem. Please listen to me. It's okay.
What's wrong, dude?
Has it? I just feel like it. I just feel like Spotify is going to cave here soon enough. When an actual artist that does something, I mean, I love Neil Young and I love Joni Mitchell, but people are not going to Spotify for Neil Young and.
But you think they're going to get rid of Joe Rogan?
If a couple of big artists come on board with pulling their music, wanting their music pulled, I think they will. But I think that Spotify will finally, they'll have to. Because in their eyes, those people are, more important than Joe. Although Spotify has talked about, their direction of what they're doing is headed toward, podcasts and Rogans. That's why they spent a bunch of money on Joe. That's why they gave the Royals a bunch of money. The has-been former Royals a bunch of money. So, I think that's where they're headed. It's just so silly. I mean, has anyone pulled their music from Apple for being in bed with China? Anyone? I don't think so.
China's not an enemy.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to think that China.
I can't figure out how long his contract is for. Any idea how long?
Rogan's?
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
I keep reading
5
multi-year
years.
deals. All I'm seeing.
Yeah, I feel like it was 5 or 10 for $110 million, something like that. Rogan contract. So I mean, whatever he made, I don't know if they can take the money that we gave you and go away. Have a nice day.
Boy, I don't know about that. A lot of people.
And then Joe can come here to the Blaze
Oh,
Television.
I like that idea.
Network.
That's a good idea.
And create his content here.
Yeah.
On Blaze Television.
Hey, it's in Texas. It's where he wants to be.
Amazingly, you can be anywhere and be on the Blaze Television Network. We'll build a studio for you, Joe. Oh, wait, he's already got one. So we're good to go. No problem. Yeah, I don't know how many years the deal was. It was for $100 million. I'm guessing at least 5, right? At least $25 million a year.
It started, what, September 1st?
Yeah, and then they rolled everything. They pulled everything. They gave them, there was a grandfathered time area for all the YouTube content and all of that, so that it was still going up. Now I think it's all Spotify. It's all under the Spotify logo. Anyway, it's just it's going to be sad if Spotify doesn't hold their plug with their disclaimer on all podcasts. And the first time that the podcast goes up with Dr. Fauci and they don't put the disclaimer on it, then what? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So we talked about the bridge collapse in Pittsburgh, which there was definite documentation that money was diverted to that was supposed to go to infrastructure. And they showed pictures of the bridge that was, jerry-rigged with wires
exactly,
hanging
cables and stuff instead of completely rebuilt.
And there was complaints about the cracks on the bridge that everybody went, oh my gosh, we just got another letter on the frick bridge is cracked. Oh, well, darn, let me put that over here. And we just moved on. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Fort Worth Roads Department is running the show in Pittsburgh.
Well, I would say that was actually probably worse, right? I mean, the Fort Worth roads at least are getting fixed, kind of, right?
Ride with me sometime, Jeffy. Ride with me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. Where you live is not Fort Worth. Now, I know you have to drive through parts of Fort Worth, but like the highway that they've been building, that they've been working on and are still continuing to work on, the one main drag highway that goes through our neck of the woods.
Corby, how long is
Fort
the
Worth.
delay? He's going to talk to me about Fort Worth roads. I'm just checking to see.
Yeah, because I mean the interstate that they've been working on is pretty good now.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
I drove through there not long ago. It was pretty good. There weren't any potholes. It's widened up.
Where
it's opened
are
up.
you?
The express lanes are open.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Maybe we're talking about two different roads here, bro. Come on.
I'm sure there's more than that road, but I'm just
I-35.
Yeah.
This is local. I'm sorry, folks. We're gonna get some local DFW talk, but Interstate 35 going into town. This makes no sense at all. Going into town any time of the day, really, but especially in the afternoon. It makes no sense that it is clogged bumper to bumper. Then on top of that, they start building these roads and stuff with no plan. There's literally, I talked to the mayor of a town recently who says that, yeah, they don't even tell us. Like, they just start doing stuff. And so there's no coordination whatsoever.
Well, it's not Fort Worth's responsibility to count on the small towns next to them to do stuff. Go ahead.
Ride with me. Ride with me and record it, and let's live stream it.
I have a feeling you're overreacting. I was just downtown Fort Worth.
I have lived here for 10 years, and there are parts of that interstate that have been under construction the entire time. Oh, ride with me.
No, because they're coming back now. That big area through Fort Worth is, I believe that's 100% done now. Because now you're getting with the area that you're talking about, where going into Fort Worth, that might be outskirts of Fort Worth because they annexed that.
I swear,
part.
we're gonna live stream. You were gonna ride with me, and we're gonna live stream this, and we're gonna get real time reactions.
Get in the express lane like I always do, and smooth sail into downtown Fort Worth. I was just there.
Oh.
I mean, that's why they have that's why I pay for the express lane, so I don't have to get in the backed up traffic lanes.
I don't know that I'm willing
to talk for
the
people that don't want to pay for the express lane.
I don't know that I'm willing to talk for the next hour and 13 minutes about the roads, but just real quick, do you ever spend much time around 170 and Interstate 35 area? Up there near Cabela's?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is
that technically Fort Worth though?
Yes, it goes up past the racetrack.
Okay, that's what I was talking about because that part they annexed not long ago.
I just want to know when the last time you were at 170 and I-35.
2 hours and 13 minutes ago. I don't know when. I don't know exactly when.
Okay.
But
ride with me.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna have fun.
I think we are talking about
pack a lunch.
Okay.
Traffic gets a little lengthy.
Okay, so traffic gets backed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that isn't because of bad roads.
It's because of road construction. And then when they pull the cones back, magically, there's some other issue going on right there, and they have to come back. I have seen, I don't know how many, City of Fort Worth, I don't know how many times I have seen them pick up this particular road and repave it. And they've also had to redo roundabouts that they lay down. They go, look, we've got this magic solution. Yes, City of Fort Worth. And then they come back and like, oh, crap, we really messed it up. I can see why there's been so many wrecks here. It's not because people are just dumb and don't get the whole concept, but they actually screwed it up to the point where they had to come back and completely start from scratch on these things. Whoever runs the roads department, how specific do you want me to get? How specific? It's very close. It's very close to your house. Okay? You cross the interstate near your house, and you go over that hill, and that's where the roundabouts have been completely imploded and redone from scratch. And you ask, this is what's so beautiful. You're driving down a road, and it's smooth. And then you see a sign where it says, this municipality's maintenance on this road ends. And then you're on like a wagon trail in the 1800s. You're like, oh, crap, we're in the city of Fort Worth. Yep, that's where we're at now. Oh, my gosh, ride with me. Oh, okay. I'm going to doubt Keith's experience. I'm sorry that I'm not going to give you the exact route here on the air that I'm discussing in my head. But I will take you there, and you will pack a lunch, and it will be fun. I'll take you everywhere. It's going to be good. See, I didn't want to do this.
No, that's fine. But I feel like...
Turn the mics off and I'll tell you exactly where it is, and then you...
I feel like this is a Keith thing.
Get out of my face. Yeah, okay. You're ride with me.
So I would venture to say that
and
that's possible.
Every city's got this. All the people listening, I know there's a lot of municipalities who are dealing with this exact thing, right? And infrastructure is a deal, but it shouldn't be a federal deal. That's the issue. These are local problems that should be taken care of locally.
Well, and that's the thing that they were talking about with Pittsburgh, right, is that they were getting money locally to fix these bridges and never did.
Right, and I've had the city of Fort Worth. I have formerly complained, yes, I'm my parents' Progressive Insurance. I've sent emails. I filled out the form like they told me to down at downtown Fort Worth. And then you go back later for an update and it's closed. The ticket's closed and the road is still in disrepair. They don't care.
That's because they looked at it and went, yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're out of here.
Are you?
Have a nice day.
Get out of my face.
How many times we got to fix this damn road for these people?
I swear, dude. Ride with me.
So I see where, and of course, like we said, it was interesting that the morning, and I know, is this a coincidence? Please. I'm not trying to say that anything nefarious happened.
No.
I'm just saying that it was interesting that bridge collapsed hours prior to President Biden showing up to talk about infrastructure. Was interesting. And then, it was 10 people injured. It was pretty amazing to see the damage, and and the bridge has been complained about for a long time. And I'm sure there were a number of tickets closed at the infrastructure office because they were like, "Oh, not another one from Keith." Oh,
Pittsburgh, I tried.
That's enough of that. We're setting this thing down.
I tried, Pittsburgh. I tried.
So we have some. Then Biden, of course, gave his speech in Pittsburgh, which was great. And I don't know that we have time to play his one speech where he got angry because he was talking about drug prices. The exact drug prices that he raised when he first took office. When he's talking about insulin. So he's in Pittsburgh to talk infrastructure, and then he gets off on his medication. And I thought, first of all, a couple things with that. I mean, I thought they saved medical insurance with Obamacare. I thought they saved everyone's health care with that. Apparently not. And he starts talking about, imagine losing a child. And then, I don't know if the medication wore off.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
I haven't seen this.
It is amazing how he goes off on imagine. And we'll get to that after the top of the hour. But it's just incredible. And look, he's your president. He's your president. Yours too down there, Elena. Okay? Back off me. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393 is the phone number, and you can tweet the show at Pat Unleashed with the hashtag. Put that in your pipe, or you can just tweet at Pat Unleashed. And you can always tweet me at JeffyJFR. And you can always listen to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, although I'm filling in for Pat this week since he has decided to go to Florida. Spend a little time in the Sunshine State. So,
have you gotten a postcard yet featuring like an Eskimo or whatever they wear in Orlando?
I don't know that I'm getting mail anymore. I haven't got my COVID test. I haven't got my postcard from Pat. I don't know that I'm getting. I haven't got my invitation to appear before the Senate. I guess I just announced my running for Supreme Court Justice, so that would be pretty fast. But you can email me, chewingthefat@theblaze.com. Let me know Senate confirmation hearings when you need me there. No problem, because we're reminded from Comrade Snoobage on Twitter that a Senate confirmation hearing for me will have a lot of pleading the fifth. Senator, I don't think that's worthy of an answer. Next.
What?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Plus, I mean, I don't think any, and I could be wrong, but I think if we go back and look at the confirmation hearings, none of those people have brought their own gavel. And so if I bring my own gavel to the Senate confirmation hearing, because the senator will have one, the Dingleberry senator will have his gavel up there, banging, this committee is now underway. And I can say, go ahead.
Nice.
Back to you.
BYOG.
Senator, that question does not deserve an answer. Next.
I might get in. I need this.
I might get in. I might get in. Before the Senate today, Jeff Fisher, he believes that he is a black female and he wants to be part of the Supreme Court. I'm in. That's what if Spotify actually pulls Joe Rogan, according to the Steve 42, that might wake people up to the tyranny of leftist big tech playing with fire. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
know. That's a good take.
I mean, it is a good take, and it would be fascinating to see what would happen, but I mean, what would happen is we would cancel Spotify until the next time we're on vacation, and then we want to stream some songs. Oh man, gosh darn it! Mm-hmm. Are they giving away a free week if I go ahead and subscribe again? Okay, and I'm back on it again. It just seems that's what normally happins when we get mad
Joe
about
Rogan
stuff like
down,
this.
and he will only make him stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely will happen, right? I don't know. It just seems like I don't know what it seems like anymore. It's amazing. We are doomed. Tweeted, it's amazing how the left literally celebrates a bridge collapse. They literally celebrate new COVID strands, and they literally mourn when things are going good. Well, I mean, do they literally do that? But I mentioned Joe Biden on Friday in Pittsburgh for his infrastructure speech, but he got off on this little tangent about healthcare, and then he turned into mean Grandpa Joe, which nobody wants a mean Grandpa Joe.
Imagine being the parent, making the minimum wage or twice the minimum wage, and having a child with type 1 diabetes, knowing that you can't, and have no insurance, knowing if you cannot get that money for the insulin.
Yeah, remember you raised the prices of insulin when you first took office, Joe?
In addition to your child, it strips you of your dignity, damn it.
Oh, easy.
Can you imagine looking at your child?
Oh, no.
And you know what they need, and not be able to do it?
Easy.
Yeah, right.
Many of you have lost children.
Like I have.
Many of you have seen. Imagine.
Grumpy Joe.
It's outrageous.
Angry Joe.
And we have an answer.
Oh.
At the same time,
Wait, what?
same is true for home and community-based services for seniors and people with disabilities.
The post-millennial. Think about Bo. The Twitter account that posted the video.
No, that's Rob.
Oh, it is? That's awesome.
Rob
That's awesome. I was thinking, whoever did it, absolutely 100%.
Think about Bo.
That's absolutely what he wants you to do. And it was everything he had, not to mention him there.
Yeah.
Everything he had. It's just, he just is an incredible human being, Joe Biden. I'll just leave it at that.
How many milligrams is he up to?
I don't know, but whatever it is,
Needs to get a little higher.
I need to up it, or they need to change it. Perhaps the amount is the wrong medicine. We're giving him too much. We need to back off on that, and we need to up the other one. I don't know, man. It's just nobody wants an angry Joe. Nobody wants that. Also, do we know where Justin Trudeau is yet?
I don't believe
the leader of Canada.
No,
do we know where he's at?
Yeah, he's self-isolating for the people.
No, but he's hiding. They moved him.
I know.
I mean, yeah, he's self-isolating, all right, because he was close to someone.
You really shouldn't
contact
travel.
Tracing. Right.
If you're exposed to COVID, now you're spreading it around, little man.
And now they ran him off. They snuck him out in the middle of the night for his safety his family's safety.
Look at this crowd at Parliament Hill there in Ottawa yesterday. This is great. And by the way, the temperature, single digits. This isn't 75-degree protesting.
Looks like a nice day there.
Looks like a nice day. It's sunny. What do you need? Like the people in the shade, I'm like feeling really bad.
It's like summertime in Canada.
Basically, yeah. They've got, the trucker convoy that went from west to east over the course of the week.
Yeah.
And people would come out and show their appreciation and standing with the truckers. I believe one province just banned. No, you can't stand on the side of the road and wave at trucks. I mean, talk about dictator central. I mean, that is... this has to happen because this is already happening now in other parts of the world.
Yes.
Truckers in other countries are doing this. I mean, granted, your country is 10 miles long.
Damn near embarrassing that it hasn't happened here.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping. Because, people make the point that, look, we're spread out, right? It's tough to get... I would absolutely line a street and wave at a trucker.
No one supports truckers more than me and chewing the fat. I love truckers. Truckers run this country.
Oh, absolutely.
Truckers run this country.
Here, for you, Jeffy.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. I believe in that wholeheartedly. But, I mean, let's say, as an example, a trucker that's not vaccinated, the horror of that, first of all, even just saying it out loud, I apologize.
That's brave
but
of you.
Let's say that the trucker backs into the warehouse, and because he's unvaccinated, he has to go, okay, you can open up the back trailer now and empty it on his little CB.
Oh, yeah, a little external speaker or something, too.
And when he drives into the lot, he has to, which one do you want me at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible to me that we are concerned about a trucker.
Yep. It's all about control, because if it wasn't and it was about health, then we would have sealed our borders 2 years ago. It's not about your security, it's about control, or else we would have sealed our borders after 9/11. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's all about control.
And I feel like we're at the point now where we realize maybe you don't have to be vaccinated. Right? It would seem like we're almost at that point.
Well, yeah, but with like the trucker situation, right? I mean, you want to believe it's grassroots. You want to believe it was just an organic thing that these truckers came together. And how long was the convoy at one point? 300 miles?
Yeah.
Something like that. And it could have been longer if we could have gotten more trucks from the U.S. to Canada. But the CBC, the Canadian Broadcast, whatever it is, corporation, they want you to know that Russia is behind the trucker convoy. Watch this.
Given Canada's support of Ukraine in this current crisis with Russia, I don't know if it's far-fetched to ask, but there is concern that Russian actors could be continuing to fuel things as this protest grows, but perhaps even instigating it from the outset.
Yeah, from the outset. A lot of Soviet markings on those trailers as they move from west to east across the Great White North.
Well, they had the cartoon, right, of the truckers with fascism on the side of the trucks.
Oh, I missed this.
And so they're definitely trying to push that narrative.
Yeah, a lot of people. Obviously, we showed the crowd there in Ottawa turned out. We got some great photos that were posted by formerly of the Blaze, Lauren Chin, who lives up in Canada. Look at this. Now, all they're doing here is quoting the Canadian national anthem. God keep our land glorious and free. On guard for thee, mandate freedom. What else we got here? I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I like that one.
I don't think that's part of the Canadian
Truck
anthem.
you, Fudo.
I mean, what was it?
I'm not a barcode. That's a good one.
He said Trudeau called this a fringe element.
Yeah, fringe element. Yeah,
wow.
I don't know that that's accurate. But of course, Baghdad Bob got involved because the media in Canada not acknowledging what was happening up there.
I don't think the West Virginia governor holding up his dog's butt to the people was part of the Canadian trucker drive. But
Is that the picture
could
they
have just
put
been
up?
me. Yeah, just me. I didn't know he was up in Canada. I thought that was West Virginia.
He told Bette Midler to kiss that because she had some bad things to say about West Virginia.
Yeah, Bette Midler was slamming mansion, right? And if I don't know,
she said some bad things about like the people of West Virginia, right?
She did in her tweet, and the governor was unhappy about it and held up his dog's butt to Bette Midler. Really funny, but I'm just saying it was in the
there. It was in
the pile of the Canadian truckers protests.
No, I was trying to get us to show the Baghdad Bob picture. I don't know if we've got that. He was employed to speak for the Canadian government.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and there are no trucks in Ottawa. That's right. I mean, it is serious up there. It's to the point now where if you show up at a store and you're not vaccinated, you have to be escorted to food and drugs, and then you're on your way out. They won't let you touch anything else. I mean, this is insanity. And I'm glad to see Canada fight back, and I hope some.
Well, we'll see if it holds true, right? I mean, they said all along that the convoy ends when the vaccine passports and all vaccine mandates are gone.
They're just going to sit there and.
I mean, I don't know, and I know that this is a fringe element, but when the truckers stop delivering stuff, these are the same truckers that we all fell in love with 2 years ago because they were out there delivering our goods for us when the rest of the country shut down. Thanks to the government, by the way. But when the rest of the government shut down, we loved them. They're wonderful. And now, oh man, do they suck. I hate those truckers, especially the ones that aren't vaccinated. Man, do I hate those people. And it's just, I mean, it's the mandates that are the thing. It's not about, it's just really amazing that we're fighting for, I mean, that goes to the Spotify thing, same thing, right? It's just shut down freedom wherever you can. Shut down freedom whenever you can. And we're going to be in charge, and you're going to follow our rules no matter what.
Well, I was just looking up to see when the Canadian Parliament is in session, and nice timing by the truckers. I'm sure this was not just coincidental. But if I'm reading this correctly, they're in session starting today.
Oh, nice.
Like in other words, they've got.
Does Justin have to be there for that?
I don't know.
I mean, I know he's isolating and all, and in hiding with his family. Concerned about his family's safety. If he would have, I mean, it would have been interesting to have him come out and try to speak to them.
Yeah, Parliament returns today.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
Good job. So
Good.
make life miserable for the representatives there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ottawa.
I mean, they shut down. We saw where they shut down bridges. They were saying that they shut down bridges into the city, and they're trying to, find a way to, obviously open the city back up. And this is why.
Yeah.
Because these dingleberries have to get in.
That's awesome. You go, truckers. Clog up the streets of Ottawa. Turn Ottawa into Fort Worth.
Wait, what?
I really, man. This is the year. Like 2022 is the breaking point or the turning point for Western society. All these governments who are trying to basically shut down freedom, this is the pivotal year. This is when it's make or break. You've got some countries opening up, leaning toward bodily autonomy. I'm seriously, Britain, whatever the motivation of Boris Johnson was, the bottom line is mask mandates, vaccine passports out the window. Canada, not there yet. This is the year. Australia, New Zealand. Oh my gosh, New Zealand, that chick is just goodbye.
She has been, right? Yeah, I mean, she has been for, that's her. In fact, I believe that's her campaign slogan, goodbye.
Yeah, really.
We just know that she's
how convenient that the two societies who are the most disarmed as far as Western nations, New Zealand and Australia, because New Zealand was very recent after that attack. New Zealand and Australia, it's amazing the control and the gavel, the hammer, if you will, right? Tell
me when to use my gavel.
Yeah,
I'll use my gavel when I want to.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
the judge.
Yes, sir. So how interesting that the two societies that are the least access to guns are
have the government telling them
what to do and when to do it and when to jump and
my wedding will not be going ahead, but I just joined many other New Zealanders who have
Does she ever not smile?
Like that as a result
she can't. There's too
of
big
the
a teeth.
pandemic, and to anyone who's caught up in that scenario,
So
I'm
she's
sorry, but
she's saying,
we are all so resilient.
Are
I
we?
know we understand that we're doing this for one another, and I know that will help us continue on.
So okay,
such is life.
Such is life.
life.
But right at the beginning of this, what she's trying to do, she's trying to say, see, look, I'm like you, I'm suffering too. I had to postpone my, I don't know if it's yard work. Does she say weeding? She said, what did she say at the very beginning? What is this? The very beginning of the clip.
My wedding will not be going ahead, but I just
my
joined
weeding.
My weeding.
many
My
other
weeding will not be going on here. And
Does anyone believe that she actually does her own yard work?
Right. No, so her wedding has been postponed, and so it's actually this is a golden opportunity for the lucky guy to make a break for it.
Do I wish this weeding could continue, but the courts have said, gotta go. Well, the show's here. I mean, Pat's in Florida, living large at the Sunshine State, tanning on the beach in sub-zero temperatures. It's a wonderful time to go to the Sunshine State. Although, when you're in Florida, Texas is a little bit different. When you come from the north and you go down there, when it's 40, you think, oh, well, it's not too bad. But just coming over there from Texas, you're like, still cold.
Yeah.
You've still been acclimated to a little bit of heat.
We might get a little winter
we're
weather
supposed
Wednesday
to,
night here.
If you look back, I mean, I don't want to bring the weather screen up, but if you bring I got to start getting a green screen for this place. It's supposed to be freezing cold, right? I mean, we're looking at, they're saying, now they're claiming here in Texas, don't worry about it. The grid's not going to fail. We've got everything under control. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
For
Except
perspective,
for those unexpected
in February,
consequences.
we didn't get above freezing in the DFW area in 9 days. They're saying this one, like, I think, Wednesday night till Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So,
and they're saying, well, Friday will be the big day. Okay. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see how they go. And it's supposed to snow and ice.
Right.
I mean, I hope I can make it in.
Right.
I mean,
there's like 15
look at
hills.
the time.
15 hills I got to climb between here and.
I know. Well,
and
where
home,
you live in those terrible roads in Fort Worth, I don't know how you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. If you wake up Thursday morning and hear Pat Gray's voice, he's not back early from vacation. We just didn't get in.
I would plan on hearing Pat's voice.
He's so ready.
I mean, it's too icy out there. Look at man. I wish I could make it in. I mean, I could call in. Is anybody going to be here? Are you going to be able to make it?
Corby's so dedicated.
Sorry, roads are snowed in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's so dedicated. He just stays here. He's like, oh, crap, here comes weather. I'll just hunker down here for a week.
Oh, that's a good man. Back in the day.
I know, bro. I know.
Back in the day in old school radio, those days actually happened.
You sleep underneath the counter there.
We used to sleep behind the reel-to-reel racks. So you don't even know what reel-to-reel racks are anymore. But heck yeah, we used to. And especially during storms. I mean, I spent a lot of years in Florida, so it was hurricane coverage, and you're just moving in. And there were a couple storms I moved the family in. So move in, we're staying here. No problem. Anyway, so we were talking about the truckers, and according to...
Yeah, somebody sent me this just
we
now.
have a report saying starting March 1st, which is, a lifetime away. I mean, the world, Ukraine could be taken over by then. March 1st, a March to Freedom convoy to D.C. Yeah, baby.
That'll wake you up.
Yeah, I love that song.
Such a great
Tell me
movie.
you don't. I hope he can't pull his stuff from Spotify, can he? Oh, no. Oh, no, I won't be able to listen to Convoy. Oh, no. You want to back that thing up a little bit. The March to Freedom convoy to D.C. 2022. Convoy to D.C. 2022. Details coming soon.
All right.
Details coming soon. So we'll know more about what to expect on the March to Freedom convoy to D.C. 2022.
75.
Now, is that 1975? Coming at you. Greatest hits of the 60s
Breaker
and
one,
70s.
Man. This here's a
Breaker
rubber
one.
duck.
Now we got ourselves a convoy. Now, Jim in Wyoming believes he knows why the U.S. is not doing what they're doing in Canada. Jim, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys today?
It's embarrassing how good I am, but thanks for asking.
All right. No, I can't. I'm a little disappointed in the industry in a lot of ways, but I started back in the late '80s, and things were a lot different. But
we may have to.
At any time,
you got 30 seconds, Jim.
That?
You got 30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. At any time, the industry could change this country. All they got to do is quit rolling. A convoy is
right.
This
just
convoy
stop.
to Washington, blah blah blah, whatever. Just shut it down for 5 days.
Yeah, just park it. Don't convoy it.
That's a great point. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate you listening and calling. That's a great
Park
point.
it 2022.
Right. Park it 2020. I know. Just stop rolling, man. stop rolling, and that would shut us down. America would say, wait, what's going on? We need to make a trucker day. We may have like Trucker Tuesday or something. I just want to talk to truckers. 888-900-3393. Tomorrow, Trucker Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
I want to talk to truckers. Welcome to it, Pat Unleashed. Thanks for listening today. You can, if you're listening to this right now.
Well, they obviously are if they're hearing your voice.
Well, I mean, they could be listening to the podcast. All right. And they could be listening to the podcast, and they need to think to themselves, I should subscribe to Blaze TV. I should become a Blaze television member.
BlazeTV.com/Pat. There it is.
Save some money. There you go. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk to Julie Kelly. Julie is, she's a senior writer at The American Greatness and also an author of January 6th, which is very difficult for me to say without saying the day democracy almost died. But the book is January 6th, How Democrats Used the Capitol Protest to Launch a War on Terror Against the Political Right. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? And then the latest articles that she has, which I find amazing, is that, representatives, not J6 protesters, defile the sacred U.S. Capitol. And the one thing that I found amazing from last week, we heard all the time that these criminals, these paraders, these trespassers were getting extra cases thrown against them, extra charges against them, because Vice President-elect and the Vice President were on the grounds. Well, not so fast. Julie Kelly, welcome to the program. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Good morning. And I just want to say I just paid my yearly subscription to Blaze yesterday. I got my email, so I encourage anyone who somehow is listening and is not
of damn freeloaders.
Because I love everything Blaze does. You guys are great. Steve Dace, glad everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So we know that the Oath Keepers are now, they've said that they're not guilty, right? They've pled not guilty against these judges. One of the things that you talk about, and I don't remember what article it was or whatever, but the judges that these people, these paraders, these damn trespassers are going up against, one of them is a possible Supreme Court justice, right?
Well, correct. And these judges, I will tell you, after listening to these hearings for nearly a year, all of these D.C. District Court judges, and this is where every single one of the 725 cases related to January 6th will be prosecuted. Every single judge, from these Trump judges down to Reagan appointees, if you could believe it, are still on the court, even though they should not be, are submitting to the government's demands here, have signed off on pretrial detention orders, even for nonviolent offenders. This means right now there are men who have been incarcerated for over a year.
That's a criminal in and of itself, man.
Yes, it is. And they've been denied bond. It's very important for people to understand, not because they have criminal records, because almost none of them do, not because their actions were particularly violent, certainly nothing compared to what we saw in 2020. It is simply because they were involved in what these judges call an attack on our democracy, the storming of the Capitol,
right,
an armed, deadly insurrection. They continue to lie about what happened to Officer Ryan Sicknick. They continue to lie, judges and prosecutors, about any number of issues related to January 6th, which is what you just talked about. My latest report on a lie that's contained in not just charging documents has been presented to grand jury and certainly to a federal court, and that is that Kamala Harris was inside the Capitol when it was breached. It is a complete, flat-out lie, but yet it supports one of their most used misdemeanor charges against January 6th defendants.
So now that we know that she wasn't there, and do we know for sure if Pence was there or not? Because I thought we don't know for sure, right? We believe that he was.
We now know. So this is the basis for people, if they want to read the article, it's at amgreatness.com. This is the basis for two of the most used misdemeanors, and that is that these people trespassed and engaged in disorderly conduct because Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, who were under the protection of the Secret Service, were both in the building when the breach occurred.
Right.
We know now Kamala Harris not only was not in the building, she was at the DNC headquarters where an alleged pipe bomb was. Remember that story?
Right.
Memory hold. Now there's no proof that Mike Pence was in the building. They are trying to prevent defense counsels from asking Secret Service agents where he was, and they're also trying to conceal photographic evidence taken by White House reporters that would show his location. January 6th is a tissue of lie after lie, which I cover in my book, January 6th, How Democrats Use the Capitol Protest to Launch a War of Terror on the Political Right. And so I go into a lot of these details as to how not just January 6th has been weaponized, but the great likelihood that Democrats, government agencies, including the FBI, were mostly responsible for organizing that day and provoking a lot of the violence that we saw.
Incredible. So now they have said the people have been charged and sentenced with the charges that the vice president-elect and the vice president were on the property. What happens when we find out that that's not true? Do those charges needs to just go away, right?
I suppose, this is my question. And a prosecutor actually had to correct the chief judge of the D.C. District Court, a hyper-partisan, Beryl Howell, an Obama appointee, when she was berating someone who pleaded guilty to parading in the Capitol and said how Kamala Harris had to flee the building. And the prosecutor said, well, actually, ma'am, that's not the case. We recently found out Kamala Harris hadn't been in the building, even though Kamala Harris herself was saying since January that she wasn't in the building.
Right.
So this is repeated hundreds of, if not thousands of times, because it had to be presented to also a secret grand jury who handed down these indictments. How they get away with it, I have no idea. But, to continue to call election fraud a big lie and then see how this DOJ continues to lie time after time about the events, inflating what happened on January 6th, covering up 14,000 hours of surveillance video that would show us exactly what happened inside and outside the building the entire day. This is the big lie, that this was an armed insurrection incited by Donald Trump. None of it is true.
So what happens now? Are we going to get to see the footage, all of it? Now, I realize that some is not pretty, but we continue to be fed lies. Just let us see what actually happened, and let's investigate who instigated and who didn't, and get on with it. Will we ever know that, or do you just feel like we're never going to know?
I do feel, honestly, and this is what I tell.
That's what we have you for, Julie. Just a second. I realize that's what you're doing, and I appreciate it, and I love you for that. But will it matter?
Well, this is a great point. And this is what people ask, who cares? You still have millions of people who are going to believe what they were told originally. I said, well, you still have millions of idiot Democrats who really think that Trump was in cahoots with Putin and rigged and stole the election in 2016. You could give them all the evidence you possibly have, including the Mueller report itself, and they are not going to be convinced. So forget those people. They're sheep. They're lemmings. They want to wear 3 masks forever. They want us to get boosted. Those people you cannot rationalize with. But the rest of the American people, and quite frankly, the people whose lives have been destroyed over this, need to tell the truth. And this is the point of covering the trials now. We are already uncovering more lies. They are already having to take protective orders off of clips that they've been trying to conceal, not just from the public, but defendants and defense attorneys for over a year. So these trials are going to shine a light, and including on the FBI's involvement, they are going to shine a light on the truth. And it may be a few years, it may be 10 years till we get a full accounting of what happened that day. and the government's involvement.
I hope it's not that long.
It's been unraveling pretty quickly already.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's going to be that long because they can only hold these people, and at least that's what I believe, and it's being proven wrong. They can only hold them for so long before somebody says, "Hey, wait a minute."
I wish that was true, but I'm thinking in my head of defendants who've been incarcerated since last January and February, and their trials now delayed 5, 6, 7 months. These are men who will be incarcerated, in some cases, 18 to 20 months before they even have a trial. They haven't been convicted of a single crime. Now, of course, what is the government doing? Punishing them in the process, but also torturing them in plea deals, so they don't have to release the evidence against them in court. And this is what I have seen, shockingly seen, in our quote-unquote legal and judicial system out of Washington, D.C. It is terrifying. And I'll tell you what, people on the left who think that these powers won't be turned on them eventually, go read a history book. That just simply is not the case. So anyone cheering that the QAnon shaman got 41 months in prison for pleading guilty after spending 317 days in solitary confinement on an obstruction charge. People who cheer that, not only do I find you completely inhumane and soulless, but if you think these powers won't be turned against you eventually by this regime, if they're not stopped, that just the history simply does not support that.
Julie Kelly, I wanted a little bit more uplifting, but whatever. I'll live with what you got.
Yeah, well, we will be sure.
Debbie Downer of democracy.
Well, we're going to tweet out this segment, your articles that have covered this topic of January 6th extensively, and a link to your book a little bit later on. So be looking for that.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it. And please keep in touch so that when we get new news from these trials, we definitely need to know. It's turning into an embarrassing sort.
Terrifying. It's terrifying.
It's agonizing. Julie Kelly, thank you. Author of January 6th, the day democracy almost died. How Democrats used the Capitol protest to launch a war on terror against the political right. And, of course, the senior writer at American Greatness. Thank you so much. And, of course, a Blaze Television subscriber. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for having me on. Have a great week.
Absolutely. So, another example, talking about these judges is why I'm running for Supreme Court. I'm running for our Supreme Court. I identify as a black female, and I believe that I could hold a seat on the Supreme Court just as well as you down there, Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could hold that seat.
I know. That's what I said.
Hold it in place.
Well, I mean, that's what you do when you sit on a seat, right? I mean, a person does that. Congratulations to Apple, by the way, who claim that they have navigated the supply chain better than everybody.
Aww.
And Apple sales and profit top estimates, even with the chip shortages. So congratulations.
Slave labor will help you cut costs.
That's funny how that happens, isn't it? Yeah. And I want to congratulate them on their new pregnant man emoji. It's funny.
It's funny.
That's funny.
It's so dumb.
That's funny. The pregnant man emoji. I mean, emoji is just something you put. It's just silly.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
who's gonna what's the practical use for the pregnant man emoji?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Thank you.
It is ma'am.
Hey,
my wife is pregnant.
Jimmy's expecting.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Seriously, look at this. We are done. Good night.
It's funny. Now, I will say that I saw where, gosh darn it.
Oh, you didn't like the Rob caption this time, did you?
That was not funny. That was not funny. It hurt.
You got to be a Blaze TV subscriber so you can see Rob's captions for photos.
That hurt. That hurt. I see where, according to, I was looking at a tweet from Tim Young on Twitter.
Yeah.
According to health website healthline.com, people who were born biologically female but identify as men or transgender men who can give birth because they have the reproductive organs necessary to do so, especially those who do not take or have stopped taking testosterone. And the same goes for those who identify as non-binary. I would be willing to say, according to this, it's unclear how many men have gotten pregnant or delivered babies in the United States. At least 22 men in Australia gave birth in 2018, according to a study. Exactly. Did they? Did they? I mean, you can identify as anything you want. And obviously, I'm a prime example of that, identifying as a black female so that I can become a Supreme Court justice. However, that doesn't make it so. You can identify anything you want. I know you could be a goat. You could be a goat. Don't get me. I shouldn't have used that analogy because then I'll get off on a goat tangent, and I don't want to.
Right.
So yeah, I don't want to do that. But it's just amazing to me that you can identify. Fine, you identify as a female, or if you're a male and you identify as a female, great.
So we're not going to get.
You're not. If you're a female and you identify as a male. And you have a baby.
You're a woman.
That's not a male having a baby.
No.
That's not the way it works.
But just so we can put this to bed, we're not going to get a goat tangent.
No, we're not going to get a goat tangent. No,
that'd be a good band name, though. No. Goat Tangent.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Goat Tangent Live. Speaking of emojis, I see where you're, and really mine. I mean, my stepdad, born in the far western end of Nebraska.
Yeah.
Broken Bow, went to the University of Nebraska. I see where the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I don't like this story at all.
The logo of the what do they call the Herbie or the Herbie the Husker?
Yeah, Herbie Husker.
Herbie.
Yeah.
Not the Husker. Just it's Herbie Husker, right?
Yeah, just Herbie. Yeah.
Just Herbie. So we've changed.
Well, first of all, they messed with the logo back in the 90s.
Okay.
And then they messed with it within the last, which, by the way, I didn't realize, Market and Time, when they changed it to the latest one.
I knew I should have brought up
right?
the Nebraska story.
That's when they've sucked. Like in 2003.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Right? It's not this.
Okay.
So this is on merchandise and stuff. And in fact, I've got it here on my hat.
Herbie Husker.
There
he is.
Yeah, so let's see.
Is he giving the hand logo on your hat?
He's giving the OK sign, which...
Oh, nice. Okay.
Apparently is...
you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Oh, no.
And some little
So they want to avoid comparisons to white supremacy.
So they're changing it to... Well, we're definitely not... We haven't been number one in anything. I don't know. That's false advertising now. It's been a while. He's holding a football and he's saying we're number one. But yeah, so it started. I didn't know this until this weekend. I didn't realize it started some Lubbock, Texas sports writer, whatever cartoonist drew it up for a bowl game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were they promoting the?
Oh no, not Lil Red. We don't need to see
or?
Lil Red. It was a bowl game they were in. But that's the one that they gave us that crap in 2003, and we've sucked ever since. We got to get rid of that one. I can't.
And I
stand
saw
that
we talked to the guy from Kansas City during More on Trivia, where he knew about the wolf.
Casey
Wolf, and I actually paid attention a little bit to Casey Wolf this weekend. That's ridiculous. That
it's a wolf and not the Indian.
Ridiculous.
So this guy, there's a Pat Head, and I'm sorry for your loss yesterday. Sarah the Roma is how I remember her on Twitter. Big Chiefs fan, always posting Chiefs stuff, right? And so obviously big loss there. But sent an article about the guy in that suit. Had some bungee cord accident and fell and crushed his ribs, his spine, vertebrae.
That's
shattered
why I don't
stuff.
bungee cord.
Ouch.
That's why.
That's why I don't bungee cord, because I always feel like, oh, yeah, you're fine. I mean, I don't know that the bungee cord guy would let me on.
Yeah.
Usually.
Sign that waiver, baby.
Usually they don't.
But yeah, the University of Nebraska, I don't know who in the president's office.
I should sue the bungee cord people is what I should do.
I'm just tired of the political correctness in it, and it's all fun and games. I bought this mug here just because the Emory and Henry Wasps, you gotta preserve this stuff. You know, that's why I bought the Redskins crap. But go and buy up the yeah, that's right. See, and this is why. You wear it with pride. This is the Herbie Husker.
Herbie Husker.
White power sign, apparently.
Oh, my gosh.
I've just got it all over the place. But University of Nebraska, this is why when you're begging for money from alumni like me show up in the mail, I rip it up and throw it away because you concern yourself with crap like this. This is... No, thank you. I'm not.
I mean, they're just
pleased with
this. Trying to get along. And Herbie Husker is busy... given his
white power sign,
white power cornhole sign. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. And now I'm thinking, now I'm kind of angry, actually, that I have been bungee corded shamed.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Is that bad?
I mean, no, never mind.
Tell us.
The Kansas City Chief Wolf.
Yeah, that guy.
What's his name? He's
KC Wolf.
KC Wolf. Yeah. I'm guessing that wasn't a fun ride.
No.
If you smashed on the bungee cord like that.
Was it 75 feet maybe? I think.
Did the bungee cord break? Or
I don't know.
Was he
happened.
Was he overweight?
Look, Pat, look.
Yeah. And they just they used the wrong cord. I mean,
I don't know.
Holy cow. You know, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Oh, we should have used a smaller cord. Whoa, that would not be.
Have you ever been attached to a bungee cord? It's not a fat joke. I'm just curious. Have you ever done anything like that?
I mean, one would say that I have been attached to a bungee cord.
Setting you up for something. Yeah. I'm just wondering, what did you do on a bungee cord? Did you do the jump off?
No, they won't let me. That's what I'm saying.
So they won't even let you do the zip line or anything?
No, no way.
What's the weight limit on like zip lining?
Me, because they don't allow it. It's just like the guy from the plane. I've talked about it before, the Red Baron planes.
So you have to be at least 60 pounds, and you can't be north of 2.
And the space guy that won the tickets to go up on SpaceX, he was too fat to fly.
Oh, wait a minute.
He won the raffle, and then he was too fat to fly. He had to give his ticket to his friend.
That's not cool.
I know, and he was only like 250 pounds. You know, I could do 250 on one leg.
I was going to say, the maximum you're allowed to weigh before you can be allowed to zip line is 275.
Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, that's the guy, the Red Baron guy, when I was coming out, he was like, we're not doing any flips. I was okay. All right.
When's the last time you were 275, Jeff?
I couldn't even.
No memory?
I do not have memory of that.
Are you going to tell us what you are?
I do not have memory of that.
When's the last time you weighed yourself? Where you at? Because you've been losing weight, dude. I told you. It was obvious to me the other day. So
thank you.
What's the goal? Is the goal to zip line? Is the goal 275?
The goal is to bungee.
All right.
The goal is to bungee jump.
Weight limit, bungee.
Weight limit on bungee. Well, that just depends on the size of the bungee cord, really, right?
Yeah, they put it at 265 on that.
Ooh. Don't be shaming me. All right? We'll find you guilty in my court.
We're going for a ride, right? In Fort Worth? You coming with me? Let's go. You want to go?
Yes.
We have plans today, you and I. It's going to be fun.
Look at the time. Man, I wish.
Time to go ride.
Wish we could go, but.
Only on the Blaze Radio Network.